My name is Andrew Shade and welcome to Broadway Black Box. Today we're sitting in the Schomburg Center here in Harlem, sitting down with the legendary Melba Moore. She'll talk about her new concert at the Metropolitan Room as well as some of the things you might not have known about her career before. She's a 4-time Grammy-nominated artist as well as a Tony Award winner for Pearly. Let's take a look. Ms. Melba Moore, thank you so much for joining us today, for just agreeing to be here. It is a privilege and an honor to have you. I just want to begin this interview by saying you are Broadway Black. You are the reason why we do what it is that we do. You paved the way for so many people. And just by starting this interview, I want to ask you, what does Broadway Black or Black Broadway mean to you?
Well, it means an exposition of Afrocentric culture. It means the combination in a beautiful package of the dreams and the heartaches that we artists have had in trying to make our dreams come true, and also represent our tribes, our families, our culture, and just, I guess, live life bigger than life and just express the exuberance of life, period. I think, we didn't have anything to do with the privilege of being Black. But as you continue to live it out and discover who you are, it's quite exciting.
Yeah, awesome. So you started a career over 5 decades ago and started on Broadway replacing Diane Keaton in Hair. What was that experience like for you in the Broadway version of Hair?
I can say exciting, but I was astonished because I started, my first vocation was as a music teacher in the public schools in Newark, New Jersey. My parents were, and my dad is still a working musician.
Saxophonist.
No, that's my natural dad.
Yeah,
my stepdad brought me up as a keyboardist.
Okay.
And we're going to be celebrating his 99th birthday.
Wow.
And he's still playing, and he's still getting paid for it.
Hey, look at that.
So that's where the passion comes from. But I told him, I said, Daddy, I love teaching, but I want to see if I can be an artist too. And he started taking me around to some of his colleagues. One of the first people I met was Valerie Simpson, who was kind of going around shopping her songs, and just prior to her and Nick being signed to Motown. And she asked me, did I read music? I said, yeah. And she invited me to start to do backup singing and sessions and jingles. So that's what was going to be my vocation. I was going to try to see if I could become a lead singer as a recording artist. But what happened was we were doing the backup session for the Broadway album. I don't know what you call it anymore. It's not a CD. But it was the session of Galt McDermott. He wrote the music for Hair, and he was a wonderful keyboardist. So it was his version of the music for Hair that he did. So what happened was that let me tell you this little story. When we finished doing the recording, which took about 2 weeks because he did do all of the music from Hair. First of all, when I walked in the studio, and I would read music, and I read the music, and he said, glitty, glut, gloopy, nibby, nabby, loopy. Lily Logo. I said, what in heaven's name is this? What kind of music is this? But later on, Jerry Ragnan walked up to me and asked me, did I want to do Hair? Now, Jerry Ragnan he's passed away, bright, bushy, curly hair. He looked like his fingers were stuck in a lion claw. He came up to me and asked me if I wanted to do Hair. And I said, I don't have a Bachelor of Arts degree in music to do nobody's hair. You the one that need a hairdresser. And he explained to me it was a Broadway show. It's a true story.
So that's how you got your start on Broadway?
Yes, I still don't know how to audition.
Yes you do. You say
Yeah,
so you are a performer.
It's not an audition. No,
Well, I think we all have issues with auditioning in front of people sometimes.
Well, it's not just nervousness. I think there's a technique, and I don't have it, but God is good.
Yes, he is.
So anyway, I went down and sang for the director and producer, and they invited me to do be in the chorus of Hair. But after a while, Diane Keaton, who was doing the lead, left the show to go into Woody Allen's Play It in Sam, and after that, her career took off in film. And there was a series of young ladies that did the role, but I only mentioned Diane Keaton because you don't know who nobody else is. And it was a big deal for they were all white. So I became the first Black actress to replace a white actress in a lead role when I replaced Diane So that was a big deal.
Big
Didn't star, but, you know.
No, it made you a star. I mean, I believe that catapulted you into a new realm of actress, especially for Broadway, and then moving on to, a few years later to Pearly.
Well, no, I left hair and I had 2 weeks hiatus. What happened was, one of the girls in the chorus of hair said, no, but you don't even know how to audition. She said, you should start going around and just practice, see what this world is like and learn how to audition. And she told me about auditions for Pearly. So I was going to see if I could learn how to audition, but I got the part.
And that led to a Tony Award, though. But that's amazing how just you fell into a world that you knew not much about, but your talent carried you all the way through to the Tonys.
And you did learn on the job.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't learn how to audition, but
you learned how to perform.
I learned how to perform.
So what was the process for Pearly like for you, and that led you all the way to winning the Tony Award for Featured Actress in Music?
Well, in Hair, we did, the show is made up of vignettes, so there's a series of little skits and stuff that come together to make a whole story. In Pearly, it's a real book musical, so you have to sustain the character. You see, I talk now, well, Rudy Bell is a Southern girl, so you have to keep the accent up. Mm-hmm. So the skill and the technique of being an actress, I had to try to develop, and it was very, very, very scary. But my fellow actors, Cleavon Little, Novella Nelson, Sherman Hemsley, were not only fine actors, they were wonderful people who came together and said, this is stage right, that's stage, but this is stage seven, don't go up, we're supposed to go down
Stage is on.
And they really helped me to learn my way. I had the character, and because I was raised by a person like that, she never learned to read or write, she was orphaned, she was illiterate, so I really was her. That was another reason why I got the part, not because I knew how to audition, but I was Rudy Bell. And so the difference was you really had to sustain the character, you had to work with an ensemble of characters, and it wasn't just a bunch of jokes. There was a storyline, you had to go from A to B to Z, it was structured, so it's really quite a step up for me, and I really appreciate having that opportunity to learn on the job.
Awesome. So since Pearly, you went on to do Timbuktu as well. You've also done Les Miserables.
Yes.
You've also done Brooklyn, which is one of my favorite musicals. You forgot about Brooklyn? No, that's one of my all-time favorites.
Oh no, I love Brooklyn.
Yeah, but you've done so many different things on Broadway, as well as had a career in music, 4-time Grammy nominated.
Yeah.
How did you transition from doing Broadway and then going back into music? Because that was your base. That was where you really felt more at home, I would think.
It was so much a matter of feeling at home. It was a matter of searching your way and finding out, okay, what's going to be available to you? What is the business? How I get into it? Because I was already in the music industry as a studio singer, but not as a lead singer. Mm-hmm. And I think the difference is the politics and the business. But by the time I went back into it, I had met and married a wonderful man by the name of Charles Huggins, who just happened to be a business genius. Young black boy from the South who came up and was, really taught himself on the streets. But every young black boy wants to be an entrepreneur, a business. We have a dream.
Yeah.
And he had a genius for it, and he loved music, and he loved the music industry. So he started to go out and find out who were the CEOs of Mercury Records, Buddha Records, Epic Records, Capitol Records. He went out and took meetings with those people, he got to know them. He got me signed to these labels. He went out and formed a crew, and he got the best songwriters, the best producers, and he made the best deals. So I got to sing on records. Yeah. If you didn't do that, then I'd be singing in the shower.
Man, that's too. So recently a book came out called Black Broadway by Stuart Lane, and you were featured in that book on several different pages for all of the things that you've done. This is the book here. Have you seen this? This is what I said when I first looked at this. I said, we have to get Melba Moore on Broadway Black Box. We have to get Melba Moore on Broadway Black Box, because this Black Broadway book highlighted you so fantastically. It showed some of the things that you've done over the years, and as well as the influence that you've made along with many others, many other of your colleagues. But this is for you, specifically from Stuart Lane. So we're going to give this to you. And please feel free to look through that and just reminisce. But that highlighted you so much so that it sort of sets you apart from a lot of other artists that have done the same thing that you've done over the past couple of years. So with that being said, and your concert coming up at Lincoln Center, what's next for you?
Well, what I'm doing, you're saying, what am I going to do with all of these things?
Right, what are you going to do with all this?
I feel as though you've seen me as Sheila in Hair, you've seen me as Louisville and Pearl, you've seen me as Marcel in Timbuktu, as Fontaine in Les Miserables. But I don't think you've seen me as Melba Moore in some of the aspects of theater and characters and especially music that I know of entertaining. So what I've done is I've written my own one-woman play with music, and it's called Still Standing, the Melba Moore Story. And
Still Standing, the Melba Moore Story. Listen, make sure we get that Still Standing, the Melba Moore Story.
And now I'm putting together the production team, and I'll start to do showcase performances and backers auditions to mount it, so I can tell my little story.
This is more than a little story, it's a big story, because you've had so many different accomplishments over the years, and we're so thankful to have you here, Melba. Is there anything that you want to add or anything that you want to say about?
Well, I just want to congratulate you for doing this work, because as huge and profuse and powerful as our culture is on Broadway, we don't have enough outlets to show what we've been doing. So I hope that you have great success with it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I told you that you are the reason why we do this, and that means so much coming from you. So thank you so much. My name is Andrew Shade, and this is Broadway Black Box, and we're here with Miss Melba Moore, and we are Broadway Black.
We are Broadway Black.
What am gon' do?